In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 cards for under 350,000 MT in NBA 2K23 Myteam. These are going to be some of the best cards at their positions, and if you guys want to spend, upwards of 350k on a card, I think these are going to be some of the best pickups right now in Myteam. So the first card I do want to talk about is going to be from the new Elemental set, and that is going to be the Dark Matter Dwight Howard, who I think is actually a very good underrated power forward, because not too many people talk about Dwight, when we're talking about bigs in the game, and I feel like he's relatively cheap for a Dark Matter. I think he goes for like 250 to 300,000 MT, and I think he's actually a very good power forward in game. I did a gameplay on him if you guys want to go check that out to see what he actually looks like in game, but he's 6'11" at the 4. He's got a very good all-around defensive, or very good all-around offensive stats with a 91 3 ball, 92 mid-range. Has an amazing driving dunk. Like, he's really good at going to the basket with a 98 standing dunk, 98 driving dunk. But the best thing about this Dwight card, hands down, is his defense. Like, this card on the defensive end, I think is one of the best defensive power forwards in my team. He's got a 98 block, 96 steal, 98 perimeter with a 98 interior defense, and just his player models, animations, his wingspan in game, like, he feels one of the best defensive cards currently in the game. He's also a great rebounder, and he is super athletic. He's got 98 strength, 98 vertical, pretty much 98 in every single athleticism stat. And then you look at the badges, he does have 30 Hall of Fames, fast switch, fearless finisher, limitless takeoff, post spin, posterizer, rise up, corner specialist, clamp breaker, quick first step, anchor, ankle braces, challenger, chase one artist, clams, glove, interceptor. He's gonna have pretty much, I think he has every single Hall of Fame defensive badge. And the way that I kind of look at Dwight is I think him and D-Rob are very close at that power forward position, and I also do like Dwight over a card like a Will Chamberlain. Now, that really does come down to preference of whose release you like more and kind of just what you need out of your power forward. I look at Wilt as more of a center because of his wingspan and his jump shot really not being the best. That's also something too about this Dwight Howard card, is I absolutely love his jump shot, especially for a big man. I think he's got a great release that is super easy to green, and I would say for that for a top 5 spot, it's really between D-Rob and Dwight Howard, and D-Rob might be even a little bit more expensive, and I actually think Dwight is slightly better than D-Rob, even though they're both great power forwards, and it really does come down to preference. But a top 5 card for under 350k in my opinion is going to be the Dark Matter Dwight Howard. Going over to the season 5 set and going to the out of position, we gotta mention Taco Fall. I mean, he probably is the best card for under 350k, because with 350k you can't afford a Yao Ming, you can't afford a Hero MJ, a T-Mac, or a Terry Dishinger, who are like the top 4 or 5 cards in the game. But then Taco Fall, I think, is also in that top 5 range, on the same level as a Hero MJ, as a Yao Ming, as a Terry T-Mac. But he's only going to go for, I think, like 300,000, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And we just know Taco Fall is going to be one of the more overpowered and glitchy cards currently in the game. And if you can get one with extra Hall of Fame badges and extra gold badges on him, that's obviously a plus as well. But even if we're just talking about a base Taco Fall, he's 7'6" at the power forward position. And yes, his stats might not look crazy, but he just plays so well in game. He's one of the best mashers, one of the more unstoppable cards around the paint. And he also feels like a lot quicker in game than I think he has 64 speed, right? 62 or 64 speed as his base. Yeah, 64 speed, 64 acceleration. But if you guys have used Taco or played against him, he does not feel slow in game. Like, he feels super quick, running up and down the court, and all around is one of the best defenders in the game. And then also staying in the out of position set is going to be the Dark Matter Bill Russell. I think he's got to be a top 5 card for under 350k. Just his ability to be the best defender in the game, at least on the perimeter. And I do think all around probably is the best defender in my team, because he's 6'10", great player model. You look at the defensive stats, 98 block, 95 steal, 96 perimeter with a 99 interior defense. And then he also does have every single Hall of Fame defensive badge. I would say Dwight is possibly, like, maybe Dikembe as well, possibly like the 2 best, big man defenders in the game. But if we're talking about all around play, a guy that can guard the 1 through 4, maybe even the 5 if it's a smaller center, like a Dino or like a D-Rob, he can guard guys like that because of his size and his defensive stats and badges. He's also super athletic, has really good vertical strength, both at a 98. And then, like I mentioned, he has every single Hall of Fame defensive badge, just like Dwight Howard. So I do think Bill Russell has got to be a top 5 card for under 350k. I think he does go for around, I think like 250 to 300k, maybe even a little bit lower. And then another card I do want to talk about from the Supersonic set is actually going to be this Galaxyable AK, because I do think he's the best small forward in the game, even over the Dark Matter Bill Russell. So yes, he's going to be a lot cheaper than the 350k MT, but I feel like he's going to be the one cheap card, you know, for 350k cards, because he has to be in this top 5, because I think he's the best small forward in the game, even over Bill Russell, because he's got Bill Russell's defense, he's got that, you know, wingspan, this size, and they're really good defensive stats and badges. But then like Bill Russell isn't like the greatest offensive card. I mean, Bill's still good on the offensive end, he's got a capable jump shot, he can still move a little bit, but this AK-47 is one of the best offensive small forwards, while also being one of the best defensive small forwards. Pretty much him, Bill Russell, and Jonathan Isaac when we're talking about defense, and that's what makes AK just so dominant at the small forward position, is the fact that he is legit the best defensive small forward in the game besides Bill Russell and maybe Jonathan Isaac. And then he's also like a top 5, top 3 offensive small forward, and just overall great jump shot, great dribble sigs, and I do think he's a top 5 card for under 350k. And then the final card for around 350,000 MT is going to be the Dark Matter Cade. I want to just include AK because there wasn't really too many other cards to choose from. Like I think Cade goes for around 300k, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and he's still a top 5 point guard in the game. Jimmy Butler would be on here, but he's a little bit too expensive. I think Jimmy is still upwards of like 400,000 or 500,000 MT. So I do think Jimmy is slightly better than Cade. Penny Hardaway also recently just came out, and I think Penny might be slightly better than Cade, but he's probably going to go for more than 350k for how good of a point guard he is, especially for that hero version. So I wasn't really allowed, or I really can't use, you know, hero Penny Hardaway or the normal Penny Hardaway in this top 5. So I think I got to go with Cade. Still a very nice point guard, though. I do like him a little bit more than guys like Devin Booker. You know, I think he's just slightly better at the point guard spot because of his size. His defense is very solid, and just his ability to go to the basket with the front clutch is super nice. I do think cards like Penny Hardaway, Sean Livingston, and Hero MJ are still slightly better, but for under 350k, I still think he's going to be one of the best point guards in the game. I wanted to maybe go with Kawhi Leonard, but I just really don't think this card is that great for his price. I mean, if you look at the Supersonic set, I don't think Wilt Chamberlain or Kevin Durant are really that great either. Like, I mean, I would definitely take AK and Bill Russell a lot more over Kevin Durant. So my top 5 cards for under 350k is not going to be in an order, but Dwight Howard number 1, AK-47 number 2. We got Bill Russell number 3 as a great defensive small forward. Taco Fall number 4, probably the best card for under 350k. And then the final card is going to be the Dark Matter Cade. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 5? And maybe let me know some other really good cards for around 300 to 350k that you guys think you could include in this top 5. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.